There was a question that haunted him for years. Not, what happened? But, what if? What if he had taken the chance? What if he had started sooner? What if he had been braver? What if he had believed in himself? Some wounds come from failure. Others come from never trying at all. This is the Garden of Regret. There was a time when he dreamed of a different life. A business he wanted to start. A book he wanted to write. A journey he wanted to take. A future he wanted to build. But every dream was met with the same response. Maybe next year. Next year became another year. Then another. Then another. Until one day he looked around and realized something painful. His life had continued, but many of his dreams had not. Everywhere he looked he saw reminders. People who had started. People who had tried. People who had failed and tried again. And he wondered, what would my life have looked like if I had been brave enough to begin? One spring morning he walked beyond the town and found himself standing before an abandoned garden. The soil was rich, the ground fertile. Yet almost nothing grew there. An old gardener was working nearby, patiently planting seeds, one at a time. The man watched for a while before finally speaking. I think I missed my chance. The gardener continued working, then asked, at what? Life. The gardener smiled, as though he had heard those words many times before. He pointed toward the empty garden. You see failure. I see possibility. The man shook his head. You don't understand. I should have started years ago. The gardener nodded. Perhaps. Then he placed a small seed into the man's hand. You keep staring at the ground where nothing grew. While standing in a field full of seeds. The wind moved through the garden. The words lingered. For years he had been mourning opportunities that no longer existed, while ignoring the opportunities still in front of him. The gardener spoke again. The strange thing about regret is that it tricks us into believing life has stopped offering opportunities. It hasn't. It has simply stopped offering the old ones. The man looked around. For the first time, he noticed what was still possible. Not yesterday's opportunities. Today's. As Musonius Rufus taught, it is not possible to live well today unless you treat it as your last. The gardener knelt and pressed another seed into the earth. The man joined him, then planted another, and another. He could not plant yesterday's seeds. But today's seeds were still waiting. And perhaps that was enough. The sun broke through the clouds. The garden remained unfinished. But so did he. And that meant there was still time. Many people spend their lives asking, what could have been? But peace begins when we ask a different question. What can still be? The gardener smiled. The wind moved gently through the field, and the work began. Modern Stoic mind.